Cool, man.
I don't see you anymore.
You don't see me? Okay, cool. Well, looks like we are good to go. First off, how you doing? How's your day going?
The day's good. Uh, I got the week off, so we're just kind of driving around Brooklyn, taking photos of famous people. You know the deal. Yo,
Yeah.
that Bad Brains, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do 3 days. We're gonna do April 25, 26, 27. If you want to come
Stoked.
out, figure
Stoked,
out.
bro. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely, man.
Cool.
Well, cool. We'll bust this out here. First off, I wanted to ask you, so how long have you been teaching?
Wait, what the hell just happened?
Oh, did
Um,
it stop?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I
This,
got you.
this whole Skype thing is new to me.
I know, me too, kind of.
Hold on. Does this work?
That works. That's perfect.
I've been teaching 15 years.
15 years, huh?
Since 2004.
No kidding, man. What drew you to teaching originally?
It's weird because like when I was 12 years old, I don't know why at 12, but I guess my mom. It's funny because my mom's like, he's gonna be a lawyer. You're gonna be a lawyer, or a doctor, like your dad.
Hmm.
And I said no. Like I knew at 12 years old I can't be a doctor. Isn't that weird? I'm like, I'm a people person. I need to be in front of people, so I'm definitely gonna be a director. But as a real job to make money, teaching is probably the most appropriate profession because I can stand in front of like 20 to 30 people and teach them.
Yeah.
It's almost like I knew at 12 years old in 6th grade that's what I wanted to do.
Absolutely, man. That's cool that you were able to know that so early on. I think I felt that a lot too when I was younger. Being a people person, being in front of people, we do good with that.
Yo, it's weird because when I met you, like, I mean, not when I met you, but like the tour that we just did, like,
Yeah.
you have like the same, I'm not gonna say personality, but you got the same drive that I got. Like, you're a people
Yeah.
person. You bounce off emotion. So when people are positive, you just go nuts with it.
Totally,
And
man.
and that's what I do. And you could do that with teaching too. Like when you see kids
I was
that
gonna
are like
ask. Yeah.
that are ready to like learn, you kind of bounce off them and you direct them towards the kids that don't want to learn, so they become your assistants.
Absolutely, man. I think that's huge with students. It kind of is what I was gonna ask too. Because I remember what kind of student I was like in school. What were you like in school as a student?
I was really quiet, believe it or not. Like
Really?
everything you know of me now, being like loud and in your face, like opposite. I was shy, antisocial, and I didn't have any friends in school. No, I
Really?
had one friend. I had like one best friend, like 5th grade, 6th grade. My parents moved, and then I had a best friend in 7th and 8th grade, and then high school. I literally had one friend every year. I
Yeah.
didn't get my personality didn't flip until after I graduated high school.
Same, man. I completely
Crazy.
relate with that. Absolutely. I was quieter. I was the one friend guy per year. It's weird how stuff shifts as we get in and out of school, you know? How much schooling did you do? Like did you do university and all that?
Okay, so I went to high school obviously, and then I went to Hofstra University for 4 years. I got my bachelor's in film.
Oh.
And believe it or not, I didn't learn anything. Like everything I do with my cameras, I learned myself. Uh, they told me how to do. They told me how to do like real film, like film
Yeah.
into the Bolex. Um, but after I graduated and I got a bachelor's degree in film, I'm like, yo, I can't get a real job. And when I say that, I mean salary. Like, here's the deal: I take photos, but I'm not making like 100 grand. I'm
Yeah.
making 500 here, 1,000 here. Um, but I'm not making salary, so I'm like, yo, I gotta be smart about this. Like, if I'm a teacher, I can make a salary where I can afford an apartment and food and all that shit.
Yeah. You have
So
something
so I went
reliable.
I went back to get my master's at Queens College. It took me 2 years, and I got a master's in education in English, and and that's it. Right after I got my master's, I stepped into teaching around 2004, and I've been teaching since 2004.
That is really cool, man. It's a long time to be doing something.
It's weird. It doesn't even feel like 15 years. Like I, I, I look back. I'm like, how am I halfway done already? Because in New York, you have to teach for 30 years
Oh, okay.
to retire.
Huh.
So this is year 15. That means when I'm 54 years old, I can retire and have an $80,000 pension. It's
That's amazing.
fucking. It boggles my mind.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
15 more years, I'm done. Um, my first 10 years, I taught high school. I taught 12th grade, and then
Okay.
my school closed down. And for the next 5 years, I've been bouncing around junior highs, sixth grade, seventh grade, which is, high school and junior high is like night and day.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna ask you about that actually. So
Don't do
yeah,
junior high, man.
don't do junior high.
I mean, if you want to like exercise every day and run around the room, I mean, I don't know how
Yep.
California is. Brooklyn's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Um, but it's part of like what I do. It's like it's me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, that's what I was gonna say. Asking about some of the schools. Yes, you taught at a bunch of different levels before, junior high, high school, and stuff. All in New York, right?
Everything in Brooklyn. I'm certified 7 through 12 in Brooklyn, in New York City. So I can teach in New York City, Brooklyn, Bronx,
Nice.
Staten Island.
That's awesome, man. What's your favorite grade level to teach at?
12th grade.
Yeah, they're
12th
getting
grade.
ready to be adults.
10th, 11th, 12th. You can like
Yeah.
you can talk to the kids normal. Sixth grade, it's like you say one thing, like the kids will cry.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like you'll be like sit down. It's like if you yelled a little too loud, like you'll see tears. You
Yeah.
gotta play. You gotta play the parent. It's like really weird.
I could see that, man. That's interesting. Working at in 12th grade and stuff too. People are getting ready to be adults and stuff. You're kind of influencing people in their lives. I think I think it was something that was a big part of me. I remember a lot of my English teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask too. Walk me through an average day at work. What's a day at work like for you?
Get up at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
An hour and a half in traffic, so you don't become late. You get to work. You get to work by 8 o'clock. Punch in. You do your lesson plan from like 8:30 to 9:15, which includes a focus question of the day, and then a do now. So when the kids come in, like what do they do for the first 7 minutes? And then you got to model the lesson for 15 minutes. And then after you model and show them how to do it, you give them group work time. The thing about junior high is that it's not a 45-minute period. 45-minute periods I love because you can just like do it, and by the time you're done teaching, it's like okay, 15 minutes for the kids to do it. Junior high, they got in New York, they got these double periods where it's an hour and a half. It could become a little tedious because after half an hour of group work, some kids become antsy. Um, but
Mhm.
other than that, right, we got these state tests that we got to do. So we have a short response, which is a one paragraph response to a question using two details from the text. And then we have an extended response, which is reading two different passages and comparing both passages. So
Interesting.
we're learning how to take details from both passages and creating an argument. It's kind of like the whole fake news thing. Like
Sure.
just because you see it on TV, and these are 12-year-old kids, like just because you see it on TV doesn't mean it's true. Like, oh, I saw it on TV, that means it's true. Like, no, that doesn't mean it's true. We're
Yeah.
learning how to like decipher. No, this is wrong. And these are my details that I'm using to show you why I disagree with what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. It's critical thinking.
Critical thinking, right? So
That's so cool to teach them that early, man. I think people need that. A lot of people
it's
don't have that
cool,
as adults.
but it's really easy. You gotta learn the in teaching. It's about structure. And I told the kids, I'm like, when you first give them a sample essay and they give you one paragraph, you're just like, no, you fail. And they're like crying, and it's like, you don't fail the whole
Yeah.
semester. I'm gonna let you do it over, but you must know you have to do 4 paragraphs. You need an introduction, body paragraphs, a conclusion. And after a couple of months of practice, I have my whole class writing 4 paragraph essays. Each body paragraph has 2 details in it. And you kind of, little kids, so you got to do it in. I do the hamburger method, so I have like a hamburger. So it's like
Yeah.
you got the 2 buns, you got the top bun, which is the intro, the bottom bun is the conclusion. And like I tell them, I'm like, if you don't eat meat, you can do lettuce and tomato. The lettuce can be, lettuce can be body paragraph 1 with 2 details. Tomato can be two details. And like they're even this week, like it was the week before we had off, so they just handed me essays, and I'm calling kids up one at a time. I'm like, you got a 50 out of 100, and they're like, why, Mr. P? I'm like, you're only giving me 1 detail out of 2. They're like, yeah, because. I'm like, there's no because. Here's your paperback. Give me a second detail right now.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're like, I know. I'm like, if you know, why did you give me 1 detail? They're like, because it's Friday.
Because it's
That's what they
Friday.
say. They're like, because it's Friday. I'm like, I don't care if it's Friday. Give me a second detail.
Yeah.
Because I'm not grading this. It's some old guy across town grading this, and you're going to get a 1 out of 2 on the rubric.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting, man. I can't tell you how cool that is to me to hear about the ins and outs of this.
it's cool, but honestly,
It takes
it's
a lot of
about
patience. Yeah.
patience is a must, man. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
patience, my advice to you is don't take anything personal. If a kid curses you out, it's not about you. It's about what they're going through.
See, that's so cool too that you were talking about your life and stuff and all the stuff you got going on. Clearly you find enough time to do it cuz me being a musician and stuff, I kind of want to do both. I want to do the teaching and I also want to continue doing music and stuff. Do you find that you have enough time between like your prep work for being a teacher and also your photography and show planning?
Good question. Like during the week, no time. Like you'll
Yeah.
never see me Monday through Thursday posting that I'm out somewhere.
Mhm.
When I had you over, it was the weekend.
Yep.
It was Saturday, Sunday. Like, yo, this is my day off. We're gonna drive to Baltimore. So we drove Saturday, and then I had you out Sunday morning on a plane. And then like you really have to balance it out. It's almost like a Zen thing, where
Yeah.
like I want to be a photographer, filmmaker, but like my job is a teacher, so like I have to balance it out. I can't Tuesday, Wednesday night be doing videos until 2 in the morning. I'll end up tired and getting fired. So you got to really weigh your options, and that's why like with you, it's almost like I look ahead and I'm like, yo, that week in April is when I'm off. So if you want to come out and do a show with me, I have nothing going on. I will give you all my effort, which I did the first time.
Yeah.
But you really have as yourself as a singer, you have to schedule your shows around your teaching. So you're gonna have to do it in the weekends or the summers.
That makes a lot of sense, man. That is so cool. This is going great, man. I'll get to some of the stuff, some of the theory behind all this. I want to ask mainly why English and why not some other anything else? Why not any other subject?
I'm a writer director.
There you go.
I'm a like I'm a I plan on making movies. I'm a writer. I have scripts. I have poems. I'm not a math teacher. Social studies, I guess I could do,
Yeah.
but English, like Hunter S. Thompson, the Beatniks,
Yep.
Jack Kerouac, Ray Bradbury, um, poems, Langston
My favorite.
Hughes.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it's like a no brainer. Like when I was your age, how old are you? Like 21, 22?
23. Yeah.
When I was your age, I'm like, I'm gonna get my master's in English because this is what I like. If you go in you've been in my apartment. I have books everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like I
Absolutely.
read, so it's like I can't be a math teacher. Like I'm not a math guy. You said you want to be English.
Yeah.
Make sure you can do it. Like make sure that you want to talk about books. Make sure you want to talk about literary elements.
Yeah.
Because if you're not excited about what you do, you're fucked. The kids are
Yeah.
gonna see it.
Yeah, man. That
Like
makes
I walk into
sense.
class and kids are like, "Mr. P, you're such a nerd. You love talking about this." And I go, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do." And then when you do that, like they respect you because it's like, all right,
That's so cool. I think it shows, you know? People get something from that. Done that for your students, like made that difference? Because clearly some hit you up 10 years later down the line and said, "What's up?" That's so cool to me.
you know what it is? It's like they notice. Like I'll have them online to enter the class, and they notice what you're wearing. They're
Mm.
like, "You're wearing the same sneakers 2 days in a row." Uh, oh, you wore that sweater last week. Like they know everything you do.
That's crazy,
They
man.
notice when you're happy. They notice when you're in a bad mood. Like last year, like Mr. P, why are you in a bad mood? Like I'm not gonna tell you why I was in a bad mood, but they noticed that I was
Yeah.
through some shit. You know what I mean? Um, but this year it's funny. This year they're like, Mr. P, you're always smiling. Like when are you not gonna smile? I'm like, I'm happy. That's why.
That
They're
is
like,
so
but it's
cool.
8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, well, I got my coffee.
Yeah. That's something to smile about.
Yo,
That is so cool.
kids are crazy, man.
I wanted to ask too, just with the kids and all. I want to ask if there's any significant issues, problems, or challenges with this line of work specifically. Maybe not in like your current what you're doing, but just in
Say it
general
again. Challenges when it comes to what?
into this line of work, like with being a teacher in general.
Like, there's so many factors to teaching, and you gotta handle it where it all zens out, where it's like all even. It's a balance, man.
Seems like there's a lot of ins and outs when you're dealing with people at that sensitive age. You know, a lot of stuff that can happen, and that's really interesting. And
Like you really have to balance it. Like this is what I'm about. It's what I'm about. Like I'm a teacher, I'm a photographer, and adventure person. And
yeah.
this is who I am. Like I can't, I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't teaching.
Well, you're good at your life, balancing all this stuff, like you're saying. It's really cool to see your philosophy on it. And only final question I had was if you have any final statements about teaching as a whole. Now's your time to let it be known. Anything?
It's really, teaching falls into the whole. It's almost like same thing in anything you do as a singer, as someone that reaches a lot of people. You have to affect people in a positive way. And I don't want to say it in a cliche, like, oh, positive
Yeah.
mental attitude. Like, honestly, like, I go into the school. Like, if a kid curses you out, do you want to show him the upper hand that I'm better than you? Oh, you're going to curse me out? Watch, I'm going to get you in trouble. Or, hey, you just cursed me out. Like, come here. Let's talk about it. What's going on with you today? And then when they trust you, and you can show that like the kids trust you and you can make a difference, that's when you know that you made that difference, because not only are they learning, but they feel safe and comfortable in your class, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like they want to go to your class.
Yeah. Well, that is really eye-opening for me, man, trying to get into this line of work later on. And thank you. You helped me out a lot. This helped me out a
Yo,
lot.
I appreciate the interview. I'm honored that you would want to do it. um and when you become an English teacher, definitely ask me any questions that you have. It's a lifestyle, man. It's not something that you
Yeah.
can see on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's 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 like a lifer. Like when you meet another teacher, you're just kind of like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like you're one of us.
That's so
And
cool, man. Well,
and
I'm
it's
glad I
about,
got this resource, man.
yeah,
Something
it's
to.
about it, honestly, the last word I gotta say is like you have to be a communicator. And
Yeah.
as a singer, like your hobby, or should I say your art, is a singer, right? And I'm a photographer. So we communicate our art to the people. But at the same time, as a teacher, you're going to communicate to about 20 or 30 other little people, like
Oh
12
yeah.
to 17. So it's like you have to communicate with them where they actually reciprocate what you're saying, where they respect what you're saying, and where they learn about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you
Absolutely.
got to drink a lot of coffee, like a lot of
Yeah.
coffee, like at least 3 cups a day, man.
That is awesome. Mr. Pliskin says drink a lot of coffee. That is the best advice.